Welcome to Uncensored Hot Femme. This is the official relaunch of my podcast, the Uncensored Hot Femme. And this year we are turning up the volume and amplifying the uncensored part of this space. If you're new here, I have sporadically posted, podcast episodes of 2025. It feels like it was a hot mess. But we are here again. I have been so tuning into what I want to bring forth for 2026 and felt like so many things channeled through me. And like, what thread should I drag in? And what is it that wants to be spoken to you in this first episode? And yeah, it just felt like the drop. And I will be going into what I mean about this a little later. But first, I just want to introduce the parts that made me come into like one, two, three, into why the drop felt so important. Before we go any further, please take a breath with me and breathe into your sex and allow yourself to really sit in this space. Tune into your body because it's more about you tuning into you tuning into this space with me. I am speaking to you, through you, for you, and I want you to feel you. Out of everything, I want you to feel into in this space is feeling into yourself. So let's breathe into our sex. I'm going to be really fucking honest with you. I channeled a new archetype and she told me like it's the untouchable woman. And I'm like, okay, what is meant to be brought into my world and for anyone who is tapping into my world for 2026? And it was the untouchable woman. And what really felt so true about it was that I have been going in so many angles around power and sexuality, our relationship to men, your relationship to yourself, and like what she came to tell me, and what I'm here to tell you is that you have a core that is indestructible. It was real like can't touch this. Can't touch this. You see, there's a core inside of you that is untouchable. It is indestructible. And no matter what you go through, no matter if you drop yourself or if someone else drops you, you have an indestructible core. And really feel into that because that means that you are whole right here, right now. There is nothing to fix about you. And even on the days where you feel like I'm broken, I need to fix myself, you go into perfectionism and all the things that I know that you go into just because you are so afraid, actually not to be seen, but to be known in all and everything of who you are. You still have an indestructible core. That means that you are untouchable. And what also came through was that you, in your power, you are dangerous, disruptive, and delicious. Everything comes as the trifecta for me, like the triple P. And the triple D, I will be bringing it forth. And as they say, like nothing comes without a touch of truth in it. Like all the good things comes in threes. So I spoke about like what is it about being dangerous as a woman? And I know that you feel afraid of this yourself. The parts of you that holds the most power are the parts that you are hiding, that you are fearing, that you are keeping small, even though I don't care if you're a badass entrepreneur, I don't care if you are in an amazing relationship, I still see you that you have these pieces that you are hiding because you are afraid, maybe even to be seen, but especially to be known. And I have rewritten the description for this podcast for what Uncensored Hot Femme is bringing forth in 2026 and how it's going to bring you deeper into your power. But it's like, yeah, having a king for being judged, making it even better, even more tasty. But the truth is that what affects you more, and you know this, is how you judge yourself, how you keep yourself small, which is absolutely so understandable since it's so deeply conditioned and coded in you, how you act, in how you're trying to be safe. And that's also intertwined with being a dangerous woman because I said in a reel I made recently, you are not looking for safety. You are actually finding safety in being a dangerous woman, kind of making others flinch when they see you. And it's not about being evil, it's about you being so anchored in who you are, you being so grounded, you being so potent in your power that others may flinch. Because what happens when you come with that potent frequency? You know, it's like into the field of others. And it's also about being dangerous because I know that when you feel safe to be full, the fullness of who you are, feeling safe in that yourself, knowing that you can hold yourself no matter what, knowing that in the drop, after the activation, you can hold yourself. You know that you can be fucking fierce if you need to, and you trust that. You trust it 100% fully and deeply. You're so convicted in who you are. You're no longer wondering, like you're already being that right now. This is not about affirmations. This is about knowing, deep knowing. You already know. Because you see, I don't work with becoming because you are already what you want to be. You are already the untouchable woman. Can't touch this. So that is how you can open your heart, bring out your softness and all the parts, all those tender parts of yourself, because you know if it really matters, you've got you. You hold yourself, you are untouchable. And that is also what makes you disruptive. Because when you walk into a space, not scanning the room to see how you can adjust yourself, just being the fullness of who you are, that is disruptive. And it's about you both being hooked, unmerged, and detached, aka separated from your outside surroundings while also staying connected. You see, I first started with a lot of mindset work and it didn't work for me. So then I went into the somatics and I was like, oof, finally. Like I went so deep into my body and I started the somatic work before I even knew what I was doing when I started to breathe into my pussy, just because something inside of me poked me and told me this is what I need to do. Before I even knew, I remembered. And that is how my journey started. But then my mind came up and started to make up all these stories, and we're trying to find the truth instead of just being the truth that we already are. And I went deep into the somatics and I was like, I found the truth. I found the medicine. I found the potency of what makes me empowered and integrated and all the things. But we always want to go full circle. And I am so bringing you full circle this year. It's this slow burn turn on. And like, oof. Mm. And so you are disruptive. And in that somatic journey, there's still something missing. And you know this. You can do the yoga, you can do the breath work, you can all do all the nervous system regulation in the world, and it still isn't going full circle. You get stuck and you wonder why the more embodied, quote unquote, you become, you are even feeling more lost. And yes, we're meant to be lost on the journey because how can we ever remember who we are if we don't purify and cleanse ourselves and forget who we are so we can remember? So, this is how you are disruptive. You're creating this separation while still being connected because you hold duality like a motherfucking queen, a motherfucking badass, and you know it. You can both get activated, you can hold the activation, and you hold yourself in the downfall, in the drop. And you might not be consistent in this if we are being truthful, but you know what I'm talking about. You felt this, you know this. This is deep knowing. This is who you are. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening right now. And that is how we go full circle. Dangerous, disruptive, and delicious. Why are you delicious? Because, baby, you are so fucking tasty. Because you want to both be seen and be known in the fullness of who you are, in your shadows, in your gold, in everything. And everything, everything is equally delicious. You no longer try to scan the room to see how you can adjust, but the opposite. You walk head high, grounded, but still amplified and so potent. So you no longer leak your energy, you hold your energy, and you activate it. And this is also me as a mentor, knowing that you have probably followed a lot of mentors. I know you have been doing this work for so long, and you know the ones to activate you, the ones who are like, yeah, so unbothered, so cool, seem to be convicted in what they say, in who they are. You're like, yep, I am going with a cool gang. It's like the men you've dated, he's either the Mr. Nice Guy, or he's the gangster, or the badass, or like, you know, how can I find the fullness? How can I taste it fucking all? Because yes, it's pretty fucking sexy to be activated. But the more activated we get, the more we need to hold ourselves in the downfall, in the drop. And your sex is your power, and your core is untouchable, and you are indestructible. You don't have to prove anything, not even for yourself anymore. You love to taste all the parts of who you are. You love to play with it. You love to perform when you want to perform, because that is the fun part about being alive. We're playing with life. But it's a king to be judged because you notice when you think that you're being judged, or when someone looks at you and you no longer think like, why am I getting side eye? You're like, am I getting side eye? Cannot be about me. You're so ready to own yourself fully. You're so ready to stop just saying the words like, and yeah, we have all been there because even when I've been like, yeah, I don't want to be with this man who's like just saying it, like he says he respects me, but he doesn't fully respect me because I think it's only his words. And it's like, yeah, because when we walk in the frequency of being the untouchable woman, indestructible in our core, knowing the fuck who we are, being whole right now, no longer anything to prove, it's juicy, it's a turn on, it's both activating and grounding at the same time. Yeah, tasty. And of course, I also channel 3 archetypes around this. And I have just been allowing this to marinate. To marinate so I can bring it forth, because I do believe that integrity is fucking important. It's the most important part of power because we've seen the shadow of power. That's why we feel like it's dangerous to reveal ourselves. That's why it's dangerous to own our voice, own our desires, own our wants without kind of like acting as if, yeah, but I want it, but yeah, I don't want it that much. No, I want money because I fucking love money. Please fuck me good because I love to be fucked good. Please allow me to enter this space and just walk in head high without asking for permission. Yeah, it's like, this is what I'm bringing today. I love the vibe of today. I love to feel this today. Like, you're holding yourself in the drum because you want to be activated. And these are the mentors that I talk about as like bringing you into this, what I call the cool gang. And you feel activated. You're like, yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. But you want to be held in the downfall. You want to be held in the drop. And this is why you want a mentor like me, who can hold you in it all. We don't coddle. We don't need to hype you up. We don't need to do anything more than to drop you into your body while bringing the awareness. We're holding the duality like a motherfucking badass. The masculine, the feminine, the pleasure, the discipline, the awareness, the somatics. Going full fucking circle. Because you don't have conviction in what you're doing, you have conviction in who you are being. You see, when it comes to power, many people have power, surface level power, and they are very merged with what they are doing. They can like be unflinched about it. And you're like, yeah, but you're also an asshole. And we all know this. We don't want to be the asshole. But sometimes also we need to be the asshole. But you know that starting and stopping, downplaying your desires, your wants, you are not unclear, you're not confused. And if we take a look at the podcast episodes from last year, I will probably dissect them because bless Anna of 2025 starting this podcast just to shove it in the face of the man that rejected me because I was butthurt, but also I was like, fucking A, I'm going to show you the rebel. Bless her too. Yeah, because you can own everything about who you are, and with the right people, with the right mentor, you don't have to hide a fucking thing. Everything is power. Everything is energy in motion. Everything is amplified in the space. You don't want to hide. And the opposite, I fucking laugh at my clients when they finally crack open and bring me the truth. That's when the work fucking starts. And that's also how I can help them transmute it in 15, 20 minutes just because it needs to be seen. So you need to allow yourself to be seen and known, deeply known, and you want to be deeply known. You see, you are untouchable because that power isn't surface level. It's anchored in your sex, in your primordial power. And you can keep playing small if you want to. You can keep playing confused if you want to. You can keep being loyal to your past versions of who you are, or you can just be powerful, potent right now, which I know you are, and you know you are. And you stop sugarcoating, you don't discuss hard limits, you own your no, which allows your yes, because it isn't walls. You know when you want to run, you know when you want to fight, you know, like you can hold yourself, you can pause yourself, you can hold yourself in the draw. And this is the drop of the first episode of Uncensored Hot Femme. In the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, 2025 didn't turn out the way I thought. It's just kind of a story that keeps playing on repeat in my mind. But I was like, okay, I think we are over feeling things and actually checking things out. What is true? So I worked 50% less last year. All of December, I was off from work. I was nourishing and taking care of myself. I was going to my weekly massages. I was taking myself out to lunch. I was also feeling into the silence and the solitude. And I was like, what felt like depression mode. I had to drag myself, my ass up from bed. And I was about to record this episode, and I was like, I want to tell you about that because you think something is wrong still, and you get stuck there. You know, do you know how many times I've been purifying myself and getting stuck there? We need to be able to digest our triggers while being in motion. You see, it's like having sex because I love to compare everything to sex. And you're like feeling activated, turn on, and then something comes into your mind. You want to be able to drop down into your sex, drop down into your pussy, drop down into your body while holding that. You see, because some people tell you that we need to, what I call paint gold on shit, but like the biggest power you can have and own is holding your thoughts, meeting your thoughts, witnessing your thoughts without pushing them away. Everything goes through you, to and through you, through and to you, you know? So when my mind tells me I suck, I don't have to be like, but I don't suck, I'm going to affirm. No, how we use affirmations is just to let us know the gap between our desires and what we believe to be true about what we are worthy of and deserving of. It's how we discover our edge because we discover discomfort there. It's like having juicy sex. You want to be able to hold yourself in the drop, breathe into your body, breathe into your sex, amplify the energy, no matter if it's good or bad, quote unquote. You can hold yourself in all because you hold duality as a motherfucking badass. So I worked 50% less. December was awesome. Like I had so much spaciousness. I took care of myself, and in that silence, everything got louder. And you may think like, oh my God, why is everything turning up the volume on the negative quote unquote things? But you just created silence for yourself to me what was always there. And that is how we move through it. But also when looking at it, I realized that I had a really fucking amazing 2025, even though my inner critic was like, nope, not enough. Being in the space where I could give myself all of those things and still hit my pleasure ceiling where it's like, can't enjoy this. Need to suffer a little more, the kink of suffering. And still holding myself in the drop, dragging my ass out of bed, doing the things, taking care of myself, meditating, spending time with the family, doing the things, and so grateful. And not fake grateful, but grateful because you are untouchable and indestructible, and I am untouchable and indestructible. And I still had a six-figure year. And I was like, not enough. I used to live on social welfare. I used to not even be able to walk. I was like, my life is not only good, it's great, it's fucking amazing. And even when looking at those things, that internal power that no one can touch, no one can take away from you, making you dangerous, disruptive, and delicious. You are not only being seen, you are being known. You're revealing everything about you. You're owning everything about you. And with the right people, we will play both with life as it is being high on life, but also with the shadows. Because when we don't flinch, no one else flinches. And it is disruptive, but some people stay, some people go, people come, people go. But you have a core that is untouchable and you hold yourself in the drop. And that is why you live wildly amplified in who you are. Allowing yourself to experience the goodness of life, knowing that you can move through it all. You are real tasty. You allow yourself to taste everything. You taste like you remember who you are. So I am excited to be dropping this first episode, and I would love to hear, was there anything that came through for you? How did you feel in yourself moving through this episode? Is there anything around pleasure, play, and power, the trifecta of the peace in my world, that you eh, want me to explore more about? Is there anything you want to share? Please share in the comments. And if you love this episode, I would be really happy if you want to share it with a friend, social media. Um, yeah, it would be really beautiful if you could do that. And I would be so happy. And if you write a comment, I would love to connect to you and see what you have to share. So, yeah, see you next time. And we are back in business, baby. Bye.